Spoiler alert, yes, we have a giant spoiler on Brandan and Mary from 90 Day Fiance, so if you don't want to know, please stop watching. So everyone's wondering, did they get married or did they completely split up? Well, now we have proof, drumroll please, that they actually tied the knot and got married, and weirdly enough, they seem to be doing okay, and it even looks like they're going to be on happily ever after in the future. And shockingly, the answer to all of this is actually on their social media profiles. They're weirdly public about their whole marriage, which is odd considering that their episodes are still airing on 90 Day Fiance. And a while ago, Brandan's mom, Angela, shared some photos from their wedding reception on her social media, and she showed Mary in her wedding dress and Brandan in his suit, and there is no doubt that they are officially married now. And I mean, Mary even changed her last name on Facebook to Brandan's last name, and on his Facebook page, Brandan's already referred to her as his wife a couple of times, and their wedding took place in the Philippines, and we'll definitely get to see it on the show because Angela, his mom, said that the TLC cameras were there. So I just don't know how they, are able to talk about it so publicly, and obviously it's hard to say if the wedding will actually be shown on this season of the show, but it is very, very, very possible. But either way, we'll definitely be seeing it at some point, which I'm sure will be pretty interesting. I mean, I think I'm not the only one wondering how these two actually made it to the altar, because I doubt they actually solved all their issues. I mean, we can see it on the show. They have a lot to work through, which is why it's extremely concerning that they might also already be starting a family. And this is another thing that was revealed on social media, and yet again, Angela kind of let it slip. So she apparently indirectly referenced a potential pregnancy in some of her social media posts, and Angela said that she would be expecting a grandchild this year, and the posts have since been deleted. But there's even more to the story, because it wasn't just Angela who hinted at Mary being pregnant. Mary herself supposedly did the same, and these people just cannot help themselves. So apparently Mary exchanged a couple of messages with a fan, and she confirmed that she was expecting, and she also reportedly said that she and Brandan were in a much better place now, and that their relationship wasn't as toxic as it used to be, which she said she felt, less insecure now that they weren't in a long distance relationship, I guess. And Mary also dropped another hint about her pregnancy on TikTok. She kept showing off her belly in a really bizarre way. It just seemed like a little random for her to be doing that on camera for no obvious reason. And then one person apparently accused her of getting pregnant on purpose, and after that she showed off her belly again, which does feel like a massive clue. And so it seems pretty likely that Mary actually is pregnant, and clearly she and Brandan are taking this relationship very seriously. But even though Mary supposedly said that they are in a better place now, I'm still not sure if I really believe that. I mean, it would be great if this actually was the truth. I mean, maybe being near each other really did help them deal with all those insecurities and jealousy issues that they had, but at the same time, I don't know how likely that is, because when they were still doing the whole long distance thing, they were pretty much talking 24/7, and it was basically like constant surveillance. So obviously, now that they're married, and we can only assume living together, they don't have to be on a call 24/7 all the time. But does this really mean that their issues just magically went away, or are they still together all the time, even now, just physically instead of virtually? And I'm just a little worried about them starting a family so soon, because if they have dealt with all their issues, then I guess it's fine, even though they're both young. But in that case, I'd be happy enough for them, but I just don't know. I mean, I hope they're not bringing this child into a super unstable house, because we know that one of the reasons they feel so strongly about each other is because they can relate to each other in a really sad way. And Angela, his mom, actually lost custody of Brandan when he was just 15 years old, and Mary was abandoned by her parents when she was a baby. So clearly, this has caused them to have a lot of abandonment issues, which obviously, isn't their fault. But if they haven't actually solved these issues yet, and they're bringing a baby into the mix, I'm just not sure if it's a good idea. But then again, we just don't know where they're at right now. And it's also crazy that Angela kind of seems to be on board with this relationship right now, because she's obviously been posting a lot about them, and from the sounds of it, she might be genuinely excited about Mary and Brandan having a baby, which is so bizarre to me, because on the show, she was very, clearly had many issues and concerns about the relationship, and she said that she thought the relationship was very toxic, and that the whole situation was just scary, and that she didn't want Brandan to move to the Philippines, and she even tried to convince him to break up with Mary and stay. So, I mean, to her defense, it was kind of understandable, just, not because of all the never-ending phone calls, but also because Mary's extremely controlling, and she really tried to isolate Brandan from basically everyone in his life. And on top of that, we also found out that Brandan had been sending all of his paychecks paychecks to Mary, and he admitted that he ended up giving her about $60,000. And by the time he was ready to go to the Philippines, he only had about $250 left in his bank account, which is just really scary. But honestly, you guys, it gets worse, because you would think that Mary would have been grateful for all his, financial support and would have trusted him a little more. But Brandan apparently got fired about 3 or 4 times from different jobs, all because of Mary and their bizarre relationship, which is why I'm so shocked that Angela seems to be kind of supportive of them right now. And I mean, maybe she realized that this was the only way for her to still be involved and in Brandan's life, or maybe Brandan and Mary's relationship really did get that much better. I mean, it is honestly really hard to say, and there are rumors that the couple might do happily ever after in the future, in which case, we would probably get to see all of this play out, and that would be super interesting and a ton of fun to watch. But I'm not actually sure if this will happen, because in the supposed messages that Mary sent to a fan, she said that she couldn't really watch the show because it made her feel bad. And she also hinted at there being way too much hate aimed at her right now, and this kind of makes me question if she would actually be willing to stay on the show if she's finding it so difficult right now. I mean, what are the chances of her signing up for more of this? But at the same time, though, she and Brandan obviously earn money through being on the show, and considering their bizarre track record and Mary's jealousy, this might be the best kind of job for Brandan to hold on to, because I mean, this is a job they can do together, which I think both of them probably like, and they're just like obsessed with each other. And weirdly enough, Mary even seems to have a shrine of Brandan in her home, and in one of the videos that she posted on Instagram, you could see, and there were even some decorative lights with hearts on there as well. And like I said, it's cute, but it's extremely intense. But from the looks of it, things seem to be working out okay at this point. And then again, just because Mary's allegedly expecting and they're married now doesn't really mean that they're actually doing very well. There's still a lot that we don't know, and I guess we just have to hope and that we'll get to see it at some point on the show. But guys, what do you guys think? I mean, are you shocked that Brandan and Mary are officially married? And do you think Mary's actually expecting? My 2 cents, I am shocked that they could potentially be happily married, but that's a gray area, because we really don't know. Just because they're married and probably expecting does not mean that they are happily married and expecting. And I'm not very shocked that they are possibly expecting. Do I think she tricked him? Well, hey, it takes 2 people to make a baby, but I don't know. She's kind of scary. She seems sweet and nice and cute and whatever, and they have a cute little thing going, but she kind of freaks me out. And Brandan is also, he's kind of naive too. So either way, guys, put in the comments below what you guys think. Are you shocked by definitely the marriage? And are you shocked by the possibility of her expecting? Guys, let me know what your thoughts are on all of this in the comments below.